Hello, how are you today? It's Jay, and we are going through the alphabet of oils. And we are on the 17th letter of the alphabet, which is the letter Q. So I have to confess that Young Living does not have an oil that technically begins with the letter Q. So we're making an exception here, and we are doing Melaleuca quinquenervia. So yeah, there's a Q. It just doesn't begin with a Q. That's just a technicality, though. Melaleuca quinquenervia, native to Australia. It's been used by the Aboriginal people for hundreds and hundreds of years. It is a great oil that is part of a great family of plants, the myrtle family. And you may recognize the name Quinquenervia. Well, let's try that again. You would recognize Melaleuca. Quinquenervia, no idea where that came from. But anyway, Melaleuca, that also is known as tea tree, but that species is Melaleuca alternifolia, whereas this is Melaleuca quinquenervia. Many of the same properties of tea tree, of Melaleuca alternifolia. I'll just call it tea tree for the sake of argument. Has a rather astringent aroma to it. Not what I would call my personal favorite as far as aroma, but then again, to each their own. Some may absolutely love it. It is a powerful oil. It is very freshening. It's very cleansing. It cleanses the air when it is diffused. I would rather diffuse it with something more floral to go with it to help kind of mask that astringency. It is also good for skincare, as most tea tree plants are. Most of the Melaleuca plants are good for skincare. You can also add a few drops of this to your laundry soap, preferably Thieves laundry soap. That's my personal favorite. You can add this to your laundry soap, and it will help get rid of some of those odors that are in clothes, such as, think of stinky socks. All right? Little Melaleuca alternifolia, Melaleuca quinquenervia, either of those, really good for that. Plus, if you happen to have kids, teens, especially teen boys, they can be whiffy at times. A couple drops on a cotton ball, pop it in a shoe. Good stuff. Really helps get rid of that rank odor. And let's say it as it is. A lot of teens have pretty smelly feet. So try a little Melaleuca quinquenervia on a cotton ball, and that could really help. It does help maintain healthy-looking hair and scalp as well. Tea tree and quinquenervia, also known as, let's see, what is it? Nioli. Nioli is another name for Melaleuca quinquenervia. I'm not sure which is easier to pronounce. But both of those are very good for skin care, hair care, and also cleansing. Air cleansing as well as facial cleansing. Think about all the products you see on the market that contain lots of harsh chemicals that aren't good for your skin and do more harm than good, but they have Melaleuca in the ingredients, whether it's quinquenervia or alternifolia. Think of all those that are on the market. Just go right to the source. Get rid of all those harsh chemicals that are in there. Just add a little Melaleuca quinquenervia to your facial cream. And you've got a beauty regimen that is toxin-free. How nice. Also depends on your facial cream. Got to remember that too. Add it to your laundry. You can add it to your dish soap. It's very, very versatile. It is very similar to tea tree, but it's slightly different, in my opinion, mind you. Melaleuca quinquenervia smells a little more astringent than tea tree, but it still has many of the same properties. It's a little milder on the skin and in the air when you're diffusing it than regular tea tree. So if tea tree seems a little harsh for you, well, try Quinquenervia and see if that makes any difference. It's a wonderful, wonderful oil, and it's highly underrated. And that's what we're doing with this alphabet of oils. We are talking about a lot of underrated, behind the scenes, kind of not in the limelight oils that you don't see every day, or you don't hear about every day, or you don't use every day. Sure, everyone knows about lavender, everyone knows about orange, everyone knows about lemon, everyone knows about tea tree, but not everyone knows about Melaleuca quinquenervia. And now you do. Let's talk about some of the key constituents that are in Quinquenervia. You have eucalyptol. First off, the name eucalyptol, what plant do you think of when you hear that? Eucalyptol. Eucalyptus. There you go. Eucalyptus. What is eucalyptus good for? Respiratory support. It's also an anti-inflammatory. And the two kind of go hand in hand sometimes. So eucalyptol, very powerful constituent. It also has limonene. Your body requires limonene. It's antibacterial, and it's also anti-mutant cell growth. We've talked about anti-mutant cell growth before with some other oils, and it's powerful. What cells tend to mutate? What do they mutate into when those cells do change and spread? Well, if you can find an oil that is anti-mutant cell growth, hang on to that one. That's a good one. And then the big one, alpha-pinene. Several of the oils we've talked about in the alphabet of oils have alpha-pinene in them as a constituent, which is a pretty much anti-everything that could possibly go wrong. It's antifungal, antibacterial, it's anti-inflammatory, it is anti-this, anti-that, just about everything that you want an anti for. That's alpha-pinene. Now, let me state, again, I have to clarify, that I am not claiming that Melaleuca quinquenervia or any of the oils have these wonderful cure-all properties. I am not saying, I am not treating, diagnosing, curing, prescribing. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm telling you my personal experience, not to mention referring to several studies that have been done, government-approved studies, on these constituents. Everyone knows, who is a scientist and works with this stuff, what limonene can do. They know what eucalyptol can do. They know what alpha-pinene can do. And there are tons of research materials available that you can look at. These constituents have these properties. These oils have these constituents. A, B, C. A equals B, B equals C, A equals C. And they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Yes, you can. So that is it for the letter Q. Melaleuca quinquenervia. There we go. Tomorrow we will talk about the letter R, and yes, I will have a different Hawaiian shirt. Yeah, we're on letter 17, and I have not duplicated my shirts yet. That's kind of sad, isn't it? Plus, I put a new diffuser up there. Different diffuser, not necessarily new. Got a little owl. Feather the Owl is a great diffuser. And plus, since it's kind of a gray day today here in Oregon, I went with Citrus Fresh instead of Christmas Spirit, my usual Christmas Spirit. Citrus Fresh is a great blend of several citrus oils, plus a little dab of spearmint. Good stuff. Really smells nice. It's refreshing, and it is definitely one of my happy oils. Maybe we'll talk about that sometime. Oils and emotions. So until tomorrow when we talk about the letter R, have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day. Take care. God bless.